and welcome to another episode of Mirror Twins. This is Kyle.
This is Justin.
And we are talking about 10 things we wish we knew about having kids before we had them. So, what's your opinion on children?
I had 2 of them.
So, number 1, you might have a child with a completely different personality than your own. Or either of the parents, really.
Mm-hmm. And my wife and I experienced that. We're both pretty typical introverts.
You're an introvert?
I'm an introvert. Maybe not with you.
Okay. You're an exie with me.
But one of our daughters is an extrovert, and I remember specifically one time her being at the playground walking up to a child about her same age and saying, "I'm not a monster. What's your name?"
At least she knew that at a young age.
Yeah, and we're glad that the doctor never told us that she was a monster.
You've been to the doctor several times. No one's ever said anything. But that does go into a bigger thing, and that's very important. And I think a lot of new parents don't expect that. They don't even, it doesn't even cross their mind that there might be a child that's not like either of them. And then how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
Because you always judge situations by your own experiences and thought processes. Is like, well, I didn't act like that, and my partner didn't act like that. It's like, why are you like that?
Yeah, they're their own people, and they're gonna have their own personality sometimes. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you'll have someone who's very similar to you or your wife, and you'll get a curveball from left field sometimes. Some of their weirder quirks they grow out of by the time they get to like kindergarten, first grade, and then they'll have different weird quirks and they'll grow out of those. So
it may not be as weird as you think. That's the other thing too. It may be just weird to you because you've never seen it, because neither of your families are like that. But it may not actually be that weird.
Like Kramer said, Mother Nature's a mad scientist.
You want to do number 2?
No, you do number 2.
I'll do number 2.
Of course, it's got to be number 2.
It's got to be number 2. Because number 2 is how important poop is. It's something you don't think about. You
don't want to think about it.
You think about, I'm going to change diapers, right? Yeah, it's going to be gross, whatever, I'll get used to it. But, how much of your mental energy
as a
is
parent
spent thinking about, well, did they go today? Did they not go today? Do they need to go today? What did they eat yesterday? Should I see that? It's just, it goes really into your head, especially in those early developmental years, and even the first days. What is it called? Marconium stool? If you don't know, newborns, there's that first stool that they have that has different things in it. I think it's some of the embryonic fluid that's in their tummies, and it looks different, it smells different. Some kids have it right away, some kids have it a day and a half later, some kids peter out and they get rid of it a little bit at a time. But the doctors tell you to look for it, and you're changing diapers, and it's just crazy the amount of mental energy is spent thinking about that.
And just being prepared for messes.
Yes.
Like extra clothes, extra diapers, extra wipes, extra clothes and wipes.
Yes. And how easily you get desensitized.
Oh, yeah. Because the first couple of times you're like, oh! And then later on you're like,
what am I having for dinner?
Yeah. If you have one of the kids who hates getting their diaper changed, then you're trying to distract them, singing songs and stuff like that. Number 3, you have to teach kids literally everything. Gravity and hitting your head will hurt you. Manners, stuff like that, just everything. Falling on concrete hurts. I guess the biggest one is gravity. You'll sit them on the couch. They'll see that the distance between the couch and the floor is their entire body, and they'll still go head first.
Pain's a good teacher.
Yeah, just nobody wants to take his classes. Everything that you do, they will mimic. So you want to teach them. If you want them to use certain words, certain language, you have to model that.
And that's a good point. The best way to teach a kid to be polite is to be polite. Because you can tell them, you can remind them 100 times. But if they don't see you doing it at restaurants with your family, they will not do it.
But you also have to remind them. Some kids will learn it better than others. They're all different.
Number 4. Those cliches you hear are true. Like, you'll miss being pregnant. You'll miss these moments. I remember I was holding one of my sons up. He was too short to use the urinal. I'm holding him up with one arm. I have his pants down with the other. And I'm trying to control his spray to get into the urinal. And this older gentleman was in the bathroom, and he looks at us and he goes, "You'll miss this." I'm like, what are you talking about, you crazy old man? He was right. They're all right. You do miss some of those younger kid things when they're gone, and time flies by, and
A lot of people miss that. Also, there's some things that get easier with time, just because they get older and they understand a little bit more. They get more independent. My kids can get their own water out of the refrigerator now. That's wonderful.
Every tiny little stepping stone is like this huge weight off your shoulders.
Just the little stuff. Man, when they were out of diapers, when they can take their own shower, all right, number 5, whatever you create as normal will be normal to them. The foods you eat, the way you talk, manner, stuff like that becomes normal. So you create normal. They won't know something is different until they're older.
I was going through a health food kick right before I had kids, so I wanted to pass that on to them. So I make vegetables, just a bag of unseasoned, unsalted, unbuttered frozen vegetables that I microwave in those steamable bags, and I serve it with everything. And to them, they don't question it now. It's just like, oh, spaghetti and peas and carrots. Oh, applesauce, yogurt, and peas and carrots. It's like, not mixed together, but they just know it's this natural, it's like this normal thing.
You have vegetables with everything.
You have vegetables
and
with
they're
every
plain.
And
there's nothing on it.
I put nothing on it.
I do that too. My kids eat plain vegetables.
People look at me like I have 3 heads when I say my kids eat plain vegetables. It's like they don't know any different.
You've never given them salty, sugary,
buttery,
the seasoned.
Well, think about it when you were first married. Everyone says, oh, my family's weird, but you don't really know that. You just know from your perspective. And then you marry into a family, and then you see it's like, these people are nothing like me. It's the same for children in the household you set up for yourself. They know what you and your partner do and present. That is their norm. That is their starting point. That is their zero. My advice to you is be very conscious about what you create.
And they'll figure out that what you were doing was weird way later. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about that till they're like in 3rd grade or something like that. 4th grade maybe. All right, so we're on to number 6, and that is how much time children take up.
Do they take up a lot of time?
They do take up a lot of time, especially when they're younger. Forget projects.
Oh, Forget you like playing video games? Pfft, that's gone. You like hanging out with your friends? Pfft,
what friends?
No way. You like hobbies? No, we're being sarcastic, of course. Some people are still able to do all those things.
You have to make the time.
It's just planning ahead. If you plan meals ahead, if you do little things like that, you can get more hours back. And the other thing is you want to cultivate the relationship between you and your spouse as well. I will freely admit I'm not good at that. But you want to make time for each other too. It's something I still struggle with because I just get in my head like, oh, I want to do this now.
I have to do this. I have to do this. It's more like the have-tos.
But children do take up a lot of time. I mean, you always hear that, but once you're in it, it's like, they were right. But they're worth it. They
will be one day.
When they take care of you when you're old.
Or they become president. They might become president.
Put you in a robot body. That's what
that would be awesome.
That's what I
want. Just the jar in the head.
I don't care what it is.
Number 7, don't buy anything new. Have you experienced this?
So when you have small children, they like to bang on things, ride on the walls. Now, when we say new, we mean things like a new car, a new house, unless you have to, unless you're in a life situation where that's the perfect time to do it as well. If you can avoid it, if you can avoid getting that new car or whatever it is a little bit longer, like a year or two till they're a little older,
so they don't just spit up everywhere.
You get a brand new mattress, right? You get a brand new carpet. Just all over it.
We got hand-me-down couches and we still have them. My oldest is 10. When you're not looking, you turn your back, they're jumping on it and they've spit up on it several times, and
you're like, it was a hand-me-down.
It was a hand-me-down. We'll get new couches when they move out.
Just put a napkin over it.
I say there is also a negative to that, because you also need to teach them to take care of things, and that there's value in your possessions, at least some value in your possessions, especially like public things. They need to learn how to take care of things for other people. Don't rip the bushes out of the ground.
But do get a new car seat.
do get a new car seat. Do get a new car seat, and I would suggest getting the dealer car covers for this back seat. Generic ones don't fit as well, and if you get those car covers, then you're saving your seat, and then you're saving a lot of cleaning.
Yeah.
Waterproof everything. Every mattress that you have, make sure you have the waterproof protector. Every mattress. Even yours.
Even yours, yep.
Because you'll be burping them wherever, and they burp a little too hard.
Number 8. Milestones are both important and not important. They're important in a sense that it does give the doctor and the parent a set of parameters of their developmental stages. But you gotta understand, it's a variable thing. As long as they're in this range, even if they're at the far ends of when they walk, of when they talk, of when they use so many words. I remember How tall they are. When you're a parent in the beginning, that is so important to you, and you start even subconsciously comparing them to other children the same age. It's like, oh, my kid's not doing that. Why are they doing that? But my kid is doing this. I guess he's a superstar. Their kid isn't doing that. And you get so far into it, but once you pass all of that, nobody cares.
No.
Once that last milestone, whatever it is, like so many words or whatever that last milestone is, no one cares. No one talks about it. It's not important. You don't think about it. You don't compare it to other children that much anymore.
We're specifically talking about
early development.
And the doctors tell you that. That's why they speak so nonchalantly about it. Oh, they should be walking at this time. But if they're not, nah. Yeah, but if they're not, nah, because the doctors know that the window is very big.
I remember one doctor said something to us like, he should really be using this many words now. And we were like, and now he can talk better than any child I know. They're not important. They're not important in one way.
Right.
So,
and some kids just get there a little bit late, and it's fine.
Yep.
Every kid's different. They learn in different ways, and they learn at different speeds.
And late milestones is not always indicative of there being a problem. They're enjoying life.
Yeah.
They're just holding back.
My daughter sucked her fingers for way longer than a kid should suck their fingers. She came downstairs on her birthday and just told us, I'm not sucking my fingers anymore. And that was it. I was like... And I feel like I was joking with my wife, like, she's going to train us wrong. She's not going to understand math. You'll get it later.
You'll come down one day and say,
I understand trigonometry. Vector calculus, I'll get it next year. Number 9, sometimes you just have to trust your gut.
That is very, very true. Sometimes nothing has prepared you for any situation, and you just have to go with your gut.
Yeah, and sometimes those moments of spontaneity, you'll be inspired, and good things come of it.
Yeah, you'll hear conflicting things from other people you know who have already had kids, or what you read on the internet, or your doctor. You'll hear conflicting things. Go with your gut. Trust yourself.
Yeah, do the research. Don't be tinfoil hat wearer. But do the research and then figure out, because nobody knows your child better than you. Story. Kids don't like to eat the ends of breads, but I knew my child liked the special things. So she was like, I don't want that piece. And I said, but on the loaf of bread, there's only 2 in the whole loaf. These are special. So she wanted to eat them after that. She didn't care. She was like,
nice.
They're special. And I just had that moment of inspiration. And my mom was standing behind me and she like approved. She's like, good dad move.
And the final one, number 10. This is a little odd one coming from us, but it is true. Breastfeeding isn't nearly as natural or easy as people have made it out to be. Though I will say in recent years this is kind of going away, this myth. We didn't know that. I remember my wife was in tears because it wasn't easy for her. No. And it's not. That's common.
It's not. It's hard. It's apparently painful. I mean, I wouldn't know. Would you know?
I'm not going to answer that.
Just be supporting and helping.
Bonus number 11.
Number 11, just love them.
Just love them.
Just do the best you can. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get angry, upset. Take a little break. If you can tag team with your spouse, it gets easier. It gets better.
Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more top 10s from us, let us know. We are the Mirror Twins. I'm Justin. This is Kyle. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that thing YouTube people say. And we will see you very soon.
Yeah, let us know what top 10s you want us to do.
Yeah. What would you want to see?
Top 10 minifigures. You got a lot over there.
I do have a lot of Lego minifigures. Top 10 socks.
We'll work on it.